I learned that the easy way is something we never say. I've never heard anybody say, I've learned that the easy way. And it's because we don't learn things the easy way. Because I've been around people my whole life. I've seen the dichotomy between people who have been raised with a silver spoon in their mouth and then people like myself who had to learn things always the hard way. And I have to say, honestly, now that I'm seeing things from a different perspective on both from the outside, I'm so grateful for the things that I've gone through because I'm starting to see people around me crumble. I'm seeing people in my family dynamic and people that I considered at one point friends not being able to handle the changes that the universe is forcing us into because of not being appreciative and not showing our human side. We weren't being human, we were just human beings. It's time for people to be human now and understand that we were put on this planet to help each other without expecting things in return. But besides all that, how many of you know people that just never seem to have to handle shit on their own? They always have somebody picking them up when they fall, whether it's by manipulation, being a good manipulator. Some of them use magic, which is basically the same thing as manipulating. Magic is manipulating a situation to go in your favor in whatever way that you do it. If it's just with words and you're just a good shit talker, that is considered magic. If you're taking people's hair out of their hairbrush and taking people's tampons and you're really that demented, that's magic too. But those of us who just tell it like it is and aren't afraid to say that, we fucked up or we did this or shouldn't have done that, it seems like people don't want to hear the truth even though they say so. Everybody says they want to hear the truth, but when the truth comes out, they're afraid, they run, right? Everybody thinks that you're crazy when you tell the truth until they see that you're correct. And they won't tell you you're correct. They will tell you that you're crazy 10 times over, but when they see that you were right, they're just gone. And that is them telling you that you were correct. So we don't need confirmation from anybody as light workers. Being a light worker is a job in itself. Dealing with darkness all the time on this planet is a job in itself. The reason that you light workers were put through all kinds of trials and tribulations is because the universe was prepping you for this awakening. Because the universe knew that some shit was going to go down. And we are supposed to be leading by example on what it's like to be compassionate, loving, and understanding and not judgmental. And to show that these material things that were thrown in our lives, our whole life, to make it seem like you're less than if you don't have the best of this, that, or the other, and you wind up spending all of your money on things that mean nothing eventually, and you're miserable, and you realize when you're older you spent your whole life working and not living. We are the ones who lead by example and not say, but we do. You've been prepped by the universe your entire lifetime to be resilient and strong during times of adversity like this. There aren't many people who are handling these changes in their lives like we are. We are very adaptive individuals. We're like chameleons. We can be put in any situation and adapt. We are alchemists. We make the best of every situation that we're in because it's just that survival mode that we go into. Would probably be great on Naked and Afraid, but that show just seems so ridiculous to me and just has, I don't know what people think they need to prove to themselves by destroying their bodies like that. But, to each their own, right? It's not our position to judge anybody. Judgment has been something that is completely torn apart families, relationships, friendships. And it's funny because usually the people judging have a lot of problems in their own life. But when you don't want to face those problems, it's easier, of course. It's always easier, right? Easier to do this, that, and the other. It's easier to be on the dark side. It's easier to hate and envy. It's easier to just blame everything on everybody else. It's easy. Empaths and light workers don't take the easy route. We fix ourselves. We look at ourselves in the mirror and say, look what you did. Look at the part that you played. There's always other players in the situation, but the main player is you. You can't put the main player as you in only the good situations and not the shit situations too. That is something that we can do, and they cannot. When I say they, you know who I'm talking about. I'm tired of saying the word. I'm tired of giving them energy. I actually want to get off the subject for a little bit because their time here is running short. I want to talk about the empaths. I also want to talk about some things like when I was taking my spiritual bath last night. I zone out while I'm in there, and I was looking at the tile, the pattern in the tile in the bathroom. And you know how like when you go to a therapist, I never actually went to a shrink, but I know that they give you those pictures and they tell you like, what do you see, right? And everybody pretty much sees something different. It's from your perspective. Well, I was looking in the tile, and the design of the tile, I was seeing all different types of beings. Some didn't look so kind, but some did. I seen everything from elephants to what looked like demon faces in the tile, and I realized everything is how you want to see it. I'm sure to somebody else, they could have been looking at the same design and could have seen an angel. It's what perspective are you coming from? What are your eyes choosing to see? This is the same thing in life. You can see everything from a negative standpoint, or you can always see the positive in everything. Oh, that happened, even though I lost in that situation, or lost some things, or lost someone, but it happened for me and not to me. There's a message in all of that, right? Instead of just thinking there's no such thing as bad luck. It's karma. It's the energy you give out is the energy you're going to give back. So if you're a reckless driver, you're more than likely going to get into an accident, and it's because you didn't have any regard for people while you were acting like that. If you murdered somebody and got away with it, you're ultimately going to be murdered by somebody who just may get away with it. It's a mirroring effect of, for every action is a reaction. It's so much easier to understand life this way and to just move forward very quickly and not stay stuck, like I said. Also, I wanted to mention is just how we were lied to from the gate since we were born here. It's like, go to school and learn all kinds of shit you're never going to use in life. Then go to another school that you have to pay for to learn more shit, and stay in debt with school loans the entire time you're working in this subject you paid for, while you're paying for bills and tax. You know what I'm saying? It's just a non-stop hamster wheel of putting money in their pocket. And by there, we all know who I'm talking about. We all know that there are dark beings that have been controlling this planet from the beginning of time. And if you don't know, then start doing some fucking research, okay? Everything that was put in our fake reality from birth is all to keep us constantly wanting more but never reaching. They keep raising the bar. Now things get more expensive. Now things are more luxurious. Now they put these fake celebrities in front of you to make it seem like if you're not wearing this in Gucci and Louis Vuitton, then you ain't somebody. Bitch, you ain't somebody. It takes a somebody to literally have nothing and still walk with confidence every single day and not give a fuck what somebody thinks and know their worth. That is label to me. That's what label is to me. Be your own label, okay? Be your own fucking label. Why is credit endless? Endless amounts of credit to give out. Endless amounts of ways to keep you in debt. But yet they're going to say that there's actually a cap on the amount of money. They're in debt, but credit is endless. Does that make sense to you? So these are the kind of things that come into your mind when you clear your head. This is why meditating is so important. You're just going to think of all of these things and you're going to get angry. The truth is going to piss you off first. You're going to get very angry because you're going to sit there and think, my God, I've wasted so many years of my life. And now I'm just waking up to the truth that everything has been a lie on this planet. Yes, but don't stay there. Be grateful that you're experiencing one of the biggest events in history, and that's the Great Awakening. It's so far from over. You're going through a transition. You're waking up. You're understanding that, I hope that you're understanding that this thing that they're jabbing everybody with, nobody knows what's in it. And everybody knows it takes about 10 years to come up with that thing that they jab. right? It's just funny how they seem to come up with the ailment, and then they always seem to come up with the solution for us, right? Why do solutions always either cost us major amounts of money through insurance or doctor visits, or God knows what's in that thing, you know? I don't like to constantly harp on that, but it is what I came here for, was to wake people up. This is a lot of the reason why you're even here. When you can accept the fact that you signed up to come here, that you signed up and made a soul contract eons ago to wake up during this time, to raise the vibration on this planet, that the vibration got so low with fear and envy and jealousy and just anger, and just like, look at the news, look at these shows, everything is about crimes and they're named Lucifer. I mean, it's just, I think we all agree that this is basically hell on earth, if you want it to be. That was the plan, but they forgot we were seeds. We're star seeds. We came here, we are part of the universe. We came here to raise the vibration of the planet. That's why it's so important to change your diet. Your foods you eat have a lot to do with the vibration of your body. The dark beings who control this planet feed off of the frequency of fear. That's why they put all these things on the news, and shootings and illnesses. I gotta watch what I say. So there's also a frequency of love. The frequency of love destroys these beings. They can't function. It's like they can't eat. They starve. This is why it's so important for you to have love in your heart. Forgive anybody you need to forgive, right? And speak truth and share this with everybody. It's really difficult because we are always looked at as the strange ones. It's been kind of like cool to be mean, you know? They come out with movies like Mean Girls and shit, and it's like they make it seem like it's cool to be mean. It's easy to be mean. It's easy to be cruel. It's easy to be envious. It's easy to be weak. The reason the principalities have jumped into these people, right? I'm going to say it, the narcissists, one time, is because their vessels were weak, because they didn't know how to control their mind, their emotions, and their habits, drinking, drugs, just like myself. I'm sure there was a principality in me because I was using my narcissistic side before I woke up. Now that I'm awakened, I don't want to be that person. I realize how ugly it is because now I'm seeing it from an empath's perspective, that I was narcissistic, very much so. So this is the thing. God will only have you speak on things with truth because he's going to put you through it so you have experience. You can only deal with experience from experience. That's why people who've had silver spoons in their mouths their whole life, they don't know how to deal with times right now. There's a lot of people who can't handle what's going on. And then there's people like myself who are just like, nothing bothers me. Every once in a while, I get a little frustrated with the fact that there's a lot of people on this planet that just don't seem to want to even try to be kind. You have to give up on them, you know. You have to understand that we're all going through karma right now. A lot of us didn't appreciate so much in our lives. We just took everything for granted. I literally the other night was grateful for the pipes that the water comes out of for my bath, because without the pipes, the water's just sitting somewhere. It's useless to you. I was grateful for the spigot to turn on the sink, because without that, you can't get the water. You feel me? I was grateful for the light switch, for the light, because without the switch, the light won't turn on. So you understand, like, you start to appreciate a lot of things. Street lights. How frustrating is it when one light is out? Imagine not having any street lights with all these people driving. You start to appreciate every little aspect in life and understand that we need everything in order for this to work, like a well-oiled machine. So when things fall off, when a few things fall off, it affects everything else from working. My father explained this very well on the roof one day when there were two guys on the roof. He went to go do an estimate for a roof, but really what he did was he got binoculars across the street and he watched us from across the street. These two guys both, one by one, stopped working, and it was just me now working by myself. They both stopped to smoke cigarettes. This happened a lot, where I outworked a lot of the guys on the roof. And instead of getting any kind of like positive feedback from it and they learn from it, they get angry at me, which I don't care. That just shows the weakness in you. How you respond to somebody else's accomplishments shows the weakness in you. So my father came back and he took what we call a keel and he drew on the felt paper 3 gears. And he said when one gear stops, it puts more on these 2 gears. When both of these gears stop, it's all on this one gear and things don't work as well. He's so right. He ultimately said, get the fuck off my roof. But that's how things work. You know, when you have some kind of resistance that's unnecessary, it affects the whole operation, and it doesn't need to be this way. And this is what it's come down to on this planet. There's just so much resistance from people to want to admit their wrongs, admit that their accountability, and just I can't figure out for the life of me why people would rather be in despair and be mean and be angry and be, you know, I honestly pray that all of you can find some kind of peace with yourselves. I understand we all make mistakes. We all fuck up, because I know a lot of your shit is coming out. A lot of people's past is coming out into the open. That's why it's very important for you to put your past out there before somebody tries to manipulate the story and try to put your past out there for you, okay? So everything is based on perspective. No one has ever said I learned that the easy way. And if they did, they had a silver spoon in their mouth and they cannot handle shit like this. You're resilient. You're strong. You were awakened for a reason. Raise your vibration. Listen to frequencies to raise your vibration through the day. Going out in nature will raise your vibration. Eating fruits and vegetables will raise your vibration. Just clearing your mind of any kind of negative thoughts, because as empaths, we take on the thoughts of people around us, even if there's walls there. So it's very important to clear this daily. I'm going to leave it there. I hope everybody has a great day today. I'm out. Oh my gosh. Love you.